Should I keep my trigger foods in the house, the fun foods, you know, the crisps, chocolates, biscuits, ice cream, where you're like, if it's in the house, it's in my mouth? This is a really common question that I get asked all the time. Honestly, there's no one size fits all answer. It really depends on where you are in your recovery, on your journey, what your specific nervous system can currently cope with, and how loud those urges feel for you right now. So today I'm going to walk you through both sides of the coin, why not keeping them in the house can be quite a smart strategy for a lot of people, and why eventually you will want them around you if you do want like true freedom. We'll figure out how to tell which phase you are in and how to build your tolerance gradually, and you know, how to get to that peaceful kind of take it or leave it place, that attitude where the chocolate just becomes like background noise. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Suzie. I help people transform their lives by ending binge and emotional eating for them once and for all, without cutting calories, cutting out whole food groups, weight loss meds, surgeries, no willpower, starting over every Monday, all of the above. Together we can build your life back up. We can give you that take it or leave it attitude with food that you've always wanted. And we can give you the easiest, lightest relationship with food and your body that you have always dreamt of. If you do find this video valuable, I would so appreciate it if you could hit that like button and the subscribe button as well. If you could share this with someone who really needs to hear it. I do post short form content daily, and I post long form videos just like this one every Monday, Wednesday, and hopefully soon to be Friday, if not already. So number one, why you might choose not to keep your trigger foods in the house. All right, so let's start with the side that people don't always expect me to say out loud. If you're in those first weeks or months where your brain feels like it's on a food siren like 24/7, it's okay to create a buffer. It isn't about moralizing food, you know, like good versus bad. It is about safety and really knowing where your boundaries are right now. If the sight, smell, or even the sound of wrappers right now sets you off into a spiral, your nervous system is dysregulated. And keeping constant triggers in your environment can feel like you're trying to meditate next to a freaking fire alarm at this point. So remember, I always say this, you are not weak, you don't have a willpower problem, your body is just stuck in that survival mode. So removing those items for a short season can A, lower the mental noise so you can actually think straight, B, reduce I've slipped so I'm gonna ruin everything moments, and C, give space to build foundational skills. You know, first, regular eating every 3 to 4 hours, blood sugar stability, urge awareness, nervous system downshifts, breathing, grounding, and actual sleep, like real sleep. So I want to tell you a little bit about a client of mine. We're going to call them Jay, just to obviously keep them anonymous. So Jay kept a cupboard full of those multi-packs of sweets. That was like her trigger food. She didn't have the same with anything like salty, so it wasn't crisps or popcorn, pretzels, things like that. It was sweets. But the thing is, that doesn't mean to say that she didn't then go on to eat all of those kinds of foods. It's that those sweets were her trigger food. So they were the ones that really got to her, and once she started eating she couldn't stop, and then she finished, she would then move on to all other kinds of foods. For her it started out quite calmly in a way. She didn't binge all the time, it was quite sporadic, but after a lot of time of repetition and pattern, it soon turned into like almost every night she was binging. What we did is we removed those multi-packs for about a month, and I made it very, very clear to her that this was not a punishment, this was just to help calm the noise. And then we built a strategy together. We worked on 3 meals a day with 2 snacks, 1 breathing tool, and a sound evening routine, because her binges came specifically during the evening for her. Not all people experience this, but for her, that's what she had. And her urges dropped by half within 1 month. So then what we did is we slowly reintroduced 1 multi-pack at a time. And it wasn't magic, it was just nervous system maths in a way. Remember, this is a temporary seatbelt, it's not a life sentence. The goal isn't to avoid this forever, it's just to stabilize first so that future exposure works. Now here's the other side, and this really matters if you want long-term peace. If you keep fun foods out of your house forever, your brain keeps them on a pedestal. They feel shiny and forbidden, like, you know, magpies, is it magpies who love shiny things? And scarcity makes the brain go quick now or never. We're never going to have this opportunity again. And that's the pendulum effect that I've talked about a lot in these videos. You know, when you restrict so much, you need to expect the pendulum to come back and swing back all the way to the other side just as hard. To stop the swing, You don't yank harder, you come back to center. When we have that gentle exposure, that is how we teach your brain that this food can be near me and nothing bad happens. Here's a practical example of how we can start to reintroduce those foods for some people. We start with one item, so not like a multi-pack. We're saying, you know, maybe like a small chocolate bar or something. And we want to eat it at a neutral time. So that might be in the morning or maybe mid-afternoon, but not at like 10 p.m. at night. We want to sit down, almost plate it up. Like if you can literally put it on a plate, great, because that's signaling to your mind that this is now the ritual that it is. It's not just like a shove it in your gob and it's gone in 2 seconds. We really want to take our time and experience what we call mindful eating. You want to sit down, you want to take one mindful bite, 1 or 2 mindful bites, and then you want to pause and ask yourself, do I want the rest now? Do I really want it now? Or would future me like it later? Can I just have some later when I want to come back to it? There is no right answer in this. Don't judge yourself. This is only information. We are looking to the messenger to see what they respond with. Do that a few times a week, and over time the charge can fade. The chocolate becomes just chocolate. It's not something that you attach emotion or morality to anymore. It's not a moral test and it's not like a personality quiz. It's literally just food, okay? The aim is for what we call food neutrality. The moment you can just forget that it's in the house is the moment that your brain trusts you again. Think of this like a 3-stage bridge. Your early stage is about safety. That's what we put first, okay? If the sight sets you off, it's okay to remove it for now. You want to focus also on rhythmic eating every 3 to 4 hours, lots of hydration, enough protein and carbs at each meal, and 1 or 2 nervous system tools. So you could do like the 4-7-8 breathing technique. You can do cold water on your wrists, on the back of your neck, put your feet on the floor and name 5 things that you can see. I'll put it all on the screen here for you so you can see. And there are other habit interruption strategies that we can talk about that I will provide in future videos. But what we want to do is we want to build predictability before provocation. The middle step, so step 1, middle step is intentional exposure. So we want to reintroduce one item at a time, and you want to use a neutral context. So like daytime, you're fed, you're calm, there's no multitasking. You want to pre-decide your portion and give yourself permission for seconds if you really want them, because permission calms the scarcity siren. Then what we want to do is we want to track how it felt. Not just what you ate, we want to look at how you felt during and after eating it. Then the last bridge, the last step, is for long-term coexistence. We want to have multiple fun foods in the house with genuine take it or leave it energy. Sometimes you'll have some, sometimes you won't. And the food stops being like a project, it just starts being there. It's kind of like rehabbing a sprained ankle. Okay, imagine you sprained your ankle. You are not going to go and run a marathon on day 3, okay? You are going to stabilize, then you're going to walk, and then you're going to add gentle load. Exposure is the load. Your nervous system strengthens with graded challenge, not shock therapy. Now you want to ask yourself honestly with no judgment, okay? Consistency. Have I been eating 3 square meals plus 1 to 2 snacks for most days for the past 2-3 weeks? The urge rating. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense are my evening urges, or your urges whenever they come up? If they're 8 to 10 most days or nights, you want to start with safety. If they're about 4 to 6, you want to try gentle exposure. Sleep and stress. Am I sleeping 7 to 8 hours more for women if you need it? Do I have one reliable stress tool that I can come back to over and over again that I feel safe and comfortable with? Then we want to look at support. If it went sideways, who could I message? What's my repair plan? Who is the person that I know that I can say anything to and they're not going to judge me? If you've got 2 or more no's to those questions, that is not a failure, that is information, and it's what we can build upon, okay? So we need to build those pieces first and then expose. Think of this like rungs on a ladder that you climb gradually. So rung 1 is your least charge. It's a single serve portion of a less triggering brand or flavor. You want to eat at say 3 to 4 p.m. after lunch at the table. And you want to say, I'm allowed seconds if I want, I'm just practicing. Rung 2 is the familiar brand, small pack. You want to add a 2-minute pause at about halfway, hand on your heart, feet on the floor, 1 deep breath. And you want to journal 2 lines. Before I started, I felt. After I finished, I felt. That's it. Rung 3 is you want to then reintroduce a larger pack into the house, okay? You want to keep it at a neutral spot, not the bedroom, not the desk drawer, and you want to plate your portion and return the rest. You want to add a 5-minute buffer activity before deciding on more. So that's, for example, maybe going for a shower, going for a short walk, texting a friend, folding laundry. And then rung 4 is you want to introduce multiple items into the house. So 2 fun foods at once. You choose one today and then one tomorrow. And then you practice leaving something behind intentionally, okay? This is not the clean plate club. You don't have to finish everything if you don't truly want to. But remember what we said, we want to give ourselves permission to go back for seconds if we really want it. Yeah, you're leaving some behind not because you should, but because you can. You then have choice, you know, you've opened up that boundary, you've opened the doors to new possibility for yourself. Run 5 is nighttime practice. When you feel steadier, try a small portion after dinner, and then you want to pair it with presents. So that's tea, a candle, put your phone away, be with your loved ones, anything like that. Journaling. You want to remind yourself that this is not my last chance. Okay, I can always go back and there will always be some available for me. Something important I should say is as well is that you can stay on whichever rung that you need for as long as you need. Or you can also step down and regroup, and you can take yourself back to a previous stage if that feels right for you. Because this healing is not linear. No healing is linear, okay? It is capacity based. Use your voice out loud if you can. I know it might feel a bit icky at first, but trust me, this actually really works. Before eating, you want to say, I'm allowed this, I'm practicing feeling safe with food. Write that down. I'm allowed this, I'm practicing feeling safe with food. During a wobble, okay, my brain is shouting now or never. That's the old scarcity mindset coming in. I can have more later if I want. If you have seconds, having more is not a failure. I am learning. Okay, write this down. Having more is not a failure. I am learning. My job is safety, not perfection. If a binge happens, I am safe. I know what to do. The next best step is water, a gentle walk, and your next planned meal. Boundary with yourself or housemates or people you share a house with, even your family. I am practicing a new way with food. Please don't comment on what or how much I'm eating. I am practicing a new way with food. Please do not comment on what or how much I'm eating. Okay, so common pitfalls. Bringing in every trigger food in all at once. What you want to do to fix this is you want to bring one item, 2 weeks, then review. Nighttime only exposure when you're exhausted and you have decision fatigue. You want to instead do it in the daytime after lunch where there's less emotional load. Hidden restriction, so skipping carbs all day, for example. You want to be adding carbs to your breakfast and your lunch, and your 9 p.m. brain will thank you. Also, I'm not saying don't have carbs at dinner. Absolutely have them, but I just want to say you don't want to be restricting early on in the day or for the majority of the day, because that is what's going to lead to nighttime binges. The all or nothing measuring stick, okay? I know you know what I'm talking about because I've been there as well. To fix this, we're tracking regulation, not perfection. Okay, did you pause? Did you plate it up? Did you breathe? These are all wins. Keeping trigger foods in secret stashes. No, 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 okay? We want to bring it out into the open because secrets breed shame. Openness breeds calm. Now let's talk about ADHD, anxiety, and decision fatigue. This is honestly one of my most favorite subjects to talk about. If you've got ADHD or high anxiety, evenings can be your danger zone, essentially. Your brain's battery is on like 2% at this point, and this is where decision fatigue sets in. So making things easier upstream. You want to pre-decide your evening plan at lunchtime or earlier. So after dinner, I'll have X portion of Y on a plate with tea. You want to reduce friction. You want to keep bowls, spoons visible, keep the big bag out of reach. Body double. You want to text a friend. Having my portion now, be right back in 10 minutes. Sensory anchors. So you might want to light a candle, put on a soft playlist, have a blanket. You want to teach your nervous system that comfort isn't only in the cupboard. Okay, when you live with others, these are real life tactics. You can have a shared shelf rule. So their snacks live on a shelf that's neutral. You can see them, but they're not in your face on the counter. Labeling, so like names, dates on containers removes the is this mine thought spiral. You want to have an agreed script. So I'm working on something important with food. Please avoid offering me snacks unless I ask. You want to check in weekly for a 10-minute catch up. So what helped, what didn't, what small tweak can I make to make things easier for me? If you overdo it, you want a repair plan, not a punishment, okay? If a binge or a big wobble happens, here is your 90-minute repair, okay? Number 1, hydrate, a glass of water or herbal tea, something like that. Number 2, you want to move, 10 to 15 minutes of gentle movement. Neutralize hormones, okay? Eat your next planned meal, don't compensate. Number 4, reflect, 2 lines only. What was I needing before I started and what tiny thing would help next time? Number 5, you want to reset your environment, okay? No lectures, no starting over on Monday. You continue today. Okay, let's have a quick FAQ, or frequently asked questions. What if I never feel ready? Readiness rarely feels like fireworks. Okay, you want to try a micro step, a single serve portion with full permission, as I said. What if I always eat the whole pack? Then you want to buy single serves while you build capacity. This isn't going to be forever, it's just while you train your brain. Will this make me gain weight? What drives weight volatility is the binge restrict pendulum. Regular eating and calm exposure reduces the swing. What if my partner brings home multi-packs of things? Name the goal and collaborate on storage. You want to ask for one visible single serve for your practice and the rest tucked away for now. Is this intuitive eating? We're using mechanical structured eating more to rebuild the intuition. Once we have the structure first, then the intuition follows. So, should you keep trigger foods in the house? The short-term answer is maybe not yet, especially if it keeps setting off the alarm. Long-term, absolutely, because avoiding forever keeps the fear alive. We're not proving toughness, we are building trust. We're not chasing control, we're cultivating calm. Wherever you are avoiding, experimenting, or already coexisting, you are not behind, okay? You're learning safety at your system's pace, and that is exactly how you heal. So if you are ready to break free from emotional eating and stop the binge restrict cycle and rebuild trust with your body, you can watch your free masterclass at esthetherapy.com/free masterclass. You can find free resources on that website as well. You can also book a free, no obligation consultation call with me. You literally have nothing to lose because it's free and there's no obligation to commit to anything. It's just for us to really see if one-to-one therapy is actually the answer for you. And we can honestly solve this in as little as one session. I have had that with clients. It has taken literally one session because of the type of hypnosis that I use is so much more powerful than a lot of the traditional methods. And finally, please remember that food freedom is not about control, okay? It is about peace and calm that you absolutely can have and deserve to have. So thank you so much for watching again. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, subscribe if you can to get this message out to the people that really need to hear it. And I will see you in my next video. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and soon to be Fridays. So yeah, thank you again. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.